Good afternoon, students. My name is Janine Haug, and I will be speaking to you on the topic of climate change, the melting of Arctic ice, and its impact on humanity and wildlife. The warming climate is causing Arctic ice to melt, which is affecting weather, causing coastal flooding, and in turn impacting different types of wildlife. Melting ice is happening at an alarming rate, where scientists are stating current projections indicate an essentially ice-free Arctic Ocean in the summer by sometime around the middle of this century, and even sooner if the actual loss continues to outpace model projected losses. With only 57% of Americans believing in global warming, according to Pew Research from 2010, the importance of people understanding the impact is grave. There are two categories referenced as forcers that contribute to climate change. Natural processes that have been around for millions of years, like greenhouse gases, such as water and carbon, trap heat very well. Simply, the greenhouse effect is a natural process that warms the Earth's surface, critical for sustaining life here, some of which is reflected back to space, and the rest is absorbed and re-radiated by greenhouse gases. The issue lies with anthropogenic forcers, which were more recently brought about by humans. The increase in fossil fuel usage for transportation, such as cars, trucks, and planes, is in turn accelerating the CO2 concentration in the atmosphere. Melting Arctic ice is one of the results of such forcers increasing CO2. The loss of ice in this region would be devastating. At 96% of land ice on this planet is in the Arctic and would cause a rise in sea level. If the Earth were to lose just 8% of its ice, the consequences for some coastal regions would be dramatic. To put into perspective, the lower part of the Florida Peninsula and much of Louisiana, including New Orleans, would be submerged, and low-lying cities including London, New York, and Shanghai would be endangered. The effects of land with coastal flooding and erosion are also affecting wildlife in different ways, for a variety of species such as ice-dependent marine mammals like polar bears. The melting of Arctic ice affects not only quality and quantity of food sources, but also what their food source will be now. The polar bear will have less access to seal and other familiar prey and must travel further distances due to the retreating ice. According to the article in Bioscience, an animal's decision to exploit terrestrial versus sea ice resource patches is likely to have cascading effects on foraging behavior, exposure to disease and other novel threats, and ultimately population dynamics. The prediction is that approximately 2/3 of that population would be on the verge of extinction in those specific areas. According to Lonnie G. Thompson, humanity has three options: mitigation, adapt, or suffer. We can throw our hands up and just accept our fate if we refuse to take action. But remember this, will lead to suffering of all species. Or we can be reactive by adapting to whatever changes are in store. For example, constructing sea barriers, relocating coastal towns and cities, changing agricultural practices, and strengthening human and animal immunity to climate-related diseases. Being proactive by reducing greenhouse gas emissions by driving cars less, utilizing walking or public transportation, or enhancing natural carbon storage like the expansion of forests makes mitigation appear to be the better solution. But so far, globally, there is only talk and not much action. Although we need this changed behavior on a global scale so that we can have a chance to overcome the effects of climate change, the important part is this. It starts with you as individuals. Simple changes to help reduce your carbon footprint. One way to begin is to make a pledge to protect our planet by visiting www.worldwildlife.org. We can no longer prevent global warming, so what road will we take to protect humanity and wildlife? Thank you.